don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I could dance, I could dance, I could dance. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running, I won't get out of place.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
I stay on the beat, you can count on me. I ain't missing no steps.
Welcome, everyone. Hello. So exciting. Welcome to the live closing party of Hackergal's 12th National Hackathon. My goodness, what an amazing week it has been. I can't believe we are here at what marks the end of 2023's Hackergal Hackathon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, parents. Welcome, teachers. Welcome, Hackergal sponsors and collaborators. And of course, welcome to all the amazing girls and two-spirit, non-binary, and gender-diverse youth that make up the nationwide Hackergal community. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. This is so exciting. I will be your co-host. My name is Tanya, and I am from the Community Engagement Department at Hackergal. If you were able to attend the Hackathon's live launch party on Monday, then you will recognize my amazing co-host and one of Hackergal's bilingual ambassadors, Samia. Samia is a grade 11 French immersion student in Toronto and a third-year Hackergal ambassador. Samia is an invaluable part of the ambassador program at Hackergal, and she will be co-hosting today in both English and French. We are so lucky to have you with us, Samia.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for such a sweet introduction. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. For those of you that are seeing me for the first time, I'm Samia, and I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing event. It is so cool to think that's already been a whole week and that this event actually marks the end of the 12th Hackergal Hackathon. It is so exciting to see so many eager faces from all over Canada, all here to explore the world of coding with Hackergal.
Thanks, Samia. Folks, we'd like to acknowledge the land that we're coming to you from. Samia and I are in Toronto on the ancestral lands of the Adawanda-Run people, which more recently have become the treaty lands and territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We acknowledge that the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe Neutral People, Anishinaabe Nation, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Mississaugas of the Credit lived here before us and continue to live here now. We recognize both our responsibility and obligation to the peoples on whose traditional territory we work, learn, and live. Samia will now read our land acknowledgement in French.
Nous nous adressons à vous à partir des terres ancestrales du peuple Atawanderon, qui sont devenues plus récemment les terres et les territoires visés par le traité de Mississauga du Crédit. Nous reconnaissons que le Haudenosaunee, le peuple neutre Anishinaabe, la nation Anishinaabe et la Confédération Haudenosaunee et les Premières Nations de Mississauga du Crédit ont vécu ici avant nous et continuent d'y vivre maintenant. Nous reconnaissons à la fois notre responsabilité et notre obligation envers le peuple sur le territoire traditionnel duquel nous travaillons, apprenons et vivons. Okay, so let's start now by doing a fun icebreaker called Hack the Planet. I'm so proud of that name. But since you all have taken this week to code projects about this year's hackathon theme, which is coding together for our planet, I think it'd be a great idea to wrap up this week by actually reflecting on simple environmental goals that we can use to better the environment, or to even reflect upon swaps that you've already made or will begin to make in your lives to become more sustainable. Alors, puisque vous avez tous pris cette semaine pour coder des projets sur le thème du hackathon de cette année, qui est de coder ensemble pour notre planète, je pense que ce serait une bonne idée de terminer la semaine en réfléchissant à des objectifs environnementaux simples qui peuvent être utilisés pour améliorer notre environnement ou pour réfléchir aux changements que vous avez déjà faits ou que vous allez commencer à faire dans vos vies pour devenir plus durables. So let's take the next 2 minutes to brainstorm some ideas, and you all can either share your ideas in the chat or even just discuss them out loud with the people around you. So while you all do that, Tanya and I will share some of our hacks, and maybe you girls can pull some inspiration from our ideas if you are stuck. Nous allons prendre les 2 prochaines minutes pour réfléchir à quelques idées, et vous pouvez partager dans le chat ou discuter avec les gens qui vous entourent. Pendant ce temps, Tanya et moi vont partager nos trucs, et peut-être vous pourrez vous inspirer de nos idées si vous êtes bloqué. So, Tanya, what are your hacks to helping the environment?
Thanks so much, Sammy. I love this because we get to share what's important to us and we get to learn from each other, which is so valuable. So for me, I am really, really selective and hesitant to shred paper because I know that shredded paper can't be recycled. I also use reusable paper towels, which I'm new to, but I love. And I collect rainwater for my plants. So there's some amazing stuff going on in the chat, though.
Such amazing ideas. I actually did not know that you can't recycle shredded paper. That's so cool to know. Oh, pour moi, je dirais que j'éteins toutes les lumières quand je quitte une salle. Alors, so whenever I'm leaving a room, I make sure all the lights are turned off. That's something I've become more conscious of recently. Et aussi, utiliser des contenants qui sont que je peux utiliser plusieurs fois dans ma vie. So using reusable containers and making sure that I'm not just using single-use plastics all the time and avoiding them as much as I can. So I feel like those are some good hacks that we've shared. And now that Tanya and I have shared some of our ideas, let's actually take a look in the chat because I see it blowing up with responses. There's so many good ideas I see. Okay, let's see. Avoid online shopping. That's a good one. It comes with a lot of extra packaging. Keeping lights off when not in a room and using vehicles less. So especially, if you can avoid using your cars and using public transportation, really good idea. Utiliser des produits locaux pour éviter le déplacement des produits d'un pays à un autre. Ça, c'est comme une idée géniale. So what they say is basically trying using more local products and not using things that are just completely outsourced. So really keeping it local. That's really good. What else do I see? There's using sunlight in the day instead of keeping lights on. Super important. We have natural light. Why not use it? Utiliser moins de produits chimiques, so using less chemical products. Ooh, to clean out the ocean, pick up trash around you, ride bikes instead of driving. Those are such great ideas. And taking public transit. Yes, I see so many amazing ideas in the chat and keep them coming. But those are all so great to hear. Thank you all so much for participating and sharing your answers. I will now actually pass it back over to Tanya to go over some simple reminders.
Thanks, Samia. That's amazing. And thank you everyone for participating and sharing your energy. Okay, Hacker Gals and Pals, before we get started, we have a couple quick reminders. So today's event is being recorded for folks that aren't able to join us live, but are still taking part in the hackathon. All attendees are muted and cameras are disabled so that everyone can be as safe and comfortable as possible. But while you may be muted, we do still want to hear from you. So please keep letting your excitement shine through in the chat. Just remember that our chat is intended for positive and encouraging messages only, and we ask that you not share any personal info. We do have Hackergal team members, the amazing Jennifer and Rebecca, in the chat to support with keeping everyone's privacy a priority and to drop important links along the way. We are all in for such a treat, folks, because we have an amazing lineup of speakers with us today. Remember that the Q&A section on Zoom is where you can submit your questions for today's speakers, and they will do their absolute best to answer. Finally, we would love to see you share your favorite moments from our live hackathon closing party by tagging us on social media or using the hashtag #IamAHackergal or Je suis un Hackergal. We love to see it. So today's agenda is absolutely packed. Together, we will recap some exciting highlights from the week-long 12th National Hackathon. And we will all get to hear from our keynote speaker, Dr. Angela Segal, who will be joining us from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Angela is a pretty amazing person, and I think you will all be pretty inspired by what she has to share with us. Using the Q&A, Hacker Gals from around the country will have a chance to ask Angela questions. We also have Hacker Gal team members sited across Canada today with different coding clubs that will also have a chance to ask Angela a question. We will also hear from Hackergal Ambassador Mara, who will share with us a coding project created by a Hackergal in the coding club that she champions in Vancouver, BC, as well as the 2022-2023 Hackergal and RBCX scholarship recipient and former Hackergal Ambassador Aruthi. And if that weren't enough, we will also be sharing some very important info about how you can submit your coding project for judging through our post-hackathon survey. So tons of exciting stuff and important info to come. I know a lot of you are here for that info. So let's get started, shall we? So what happened this week? Well, why don't you folks tell me in the chat? What did you do this week because of the hackathon? And Sammy, I'd love to hear from you too. What did you do this week because of the hackathon? I know you have been doing some amazing hosting, so I'd love to hear. How has the week been for you?
This week has actually been amazing. I took the time to get back onto links and work on my coding skills. So I was going through all of the Hackergal Hub and seeing which lessons I wanted to kind of catch up on again. And I've worked on some projects. I was actually working on them in French. So for those of you that did not know, Hackergal has an option when you're coding with them, you can actually code on links in French, which I found to be so cool, especially as someone who's been learning French since I was 5. It was so great to see that I can actually put that into use in the tech world. So that's kind of what I've been up to and just kind of refining my skills and seeing what else I can do. Tanya, what about you? What have you been doing?
Amazing, Samia. I've been doing a lot of being inspired by young folks and what they've been creating. Part of creating things that are amazing and being part of something that's amazing. So some really, really amazing answers in the chat as well. I love seeing it. What a success it has been, the 12th National Hackathon. The Hackergal community embarked on a journey of planning, developing, and bringing their coding projects to life. During the hackathon launch party, we heard from Audrina Zhu from Google, who generously shared with us her inspiring story as a woman in STEAM. Over the course of the week-long hackathon, 4 pre-recorded webinars were released to help Hackergals enhance their coding project with new coding skills. These bite-sized 15-minute videos were meant to support both English and French Hackergals to level up their projects. In these webinars, Hackergals were equipped with new Linux coding skills by our very talented Hackergal team and inspired by Michaela Rongo, software engineer at TD Securities, and Anita Suhu, senior developer at IntelliWare, who shared their experience and advice as women in STEAM. Overall, we heard from inspiring women and we learned new coding skills while creating a project that got us thinking about how we can save the planet together. You all created something amazing and you are all part of something amazing, and each and every one of you should be proud of both. Today marks the grand finale of the 2023 Hackergal Hackathon. We are all so excited to have this opportunity to come together and reflect on your accomplishments. Today, we celebrate your achievements, Hackergals. So, without further delay, I have the absolute pleasure to introduce you to our guest speaker, Dr. Angela Siegel. Angela is the Assistant Dean in Academic Outreach for the Faculty of Computer Science at Dalhousie University. She is focused on increasing access to university education throughout Nova Scotia through her work with education industry partners, the federal government and the Ministry of Education. Her research focuses on computer science education and the future of the educational landscape in light of recent technological, societal, and pandemic-related changes. Thank you for being with us today, Angela. Please take it away.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. What a fun week it has been. What a wonderful challenge project that we've had to tackle. I personally have a little code club behind me from Sir Charles Tupper School in Nova Scotia, and we've been enjoying all of this along with you. So my story feels a little bit like a hackathon. I didn't know what computer science was when I was an undergrad. So I went to university and I studied mathematics, but I just was intrigued by solving problems, just like you've been doing throughout this week. And so I started off not thinking computer science was for me because I thought it was a lot about sitting at a computer and coding. And hopefully you've all seen throughout this week, it isn't about that at all. It's about identifying a problem, designing a solution, thinking about how you would tackle it. And then at the end, we'll touch the computer. So I actually didn't go into computer science initially because I didn't see that aspect of it. And in fact, I went into mathematics and I started doing research, and I worked in hurricane research in different areas. It turns out to solve those problems, I needed to work with a computer. I was working with satellite data and imagery, and that's a lot of information that no human can encode by hand. And so I learned how to program, and I then switched gears because I realized the power of computer science. Apologies, we're in a school. And so we went, so I went from really not seeing the benefit or value of computer science to recognizing it was the way in to so many different areas. And so actually as a computer scientist, I then worked in industry and did all sorts of really interesting work. And the fun part about computer science is it doesn't limit you to one area. So I did hurricane research. I worked in optical oceanography. I got to go out on ships and collect information and work with that. I worked for the Department of Agriculture, for the law enforcement agency. I had a little startup, all these fun things. There was no limit to what you could explore. So then I went back to grad school, and I decided that my real mission was to help people see that this is a possible area of interest, and that they can solve the world's problems with this really simple device that's sat right in front of you. It's such a joy to be a part of that. And my job now, I teach first-year university students, but I also, as mentioned, I'm the assistant dean academic outreach. And in that role, I get to work with really cool people like these young girls here, future computer scientists that will be heading out into the world and making great changes. So that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, thank you so much, Angela. We're so lucky to have you with us here today. We are going to open up the Q&A for Angela. So virtual attendees, please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A function on Zoom. And without further ado, let's take a look at the Hackergal community across Canada. We have 2 Hackergal communities waiting behind the scenes to say hello and to ask Angela a question. This is a really unique opportunity and a great chance for us to meet the magical people that make up the Hackergal community and what makes it so special. So coming first up, all the way from Calgary, Alberta, is our Hackergal Coding Club at Hawkwood School and Hackergal's very own Michelle. I know Michelle is so excited to be joining us from Calgary, so I'm going to welcome you to the virtual stage. Michelle, take it away.
Hi, thank you, Tanya. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I am the curriculum manager at Hackergal. I'm super excited to be here in Calgary, Alberta, at Hawkwood's outstanding coding club. We come to you from the traditional territory of the Blackfoot Nations, which include the Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, which we also acknowledge that the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda First Nations and Métis Nation. I am honored to be part of this amazing group of learners here who would love to say hello to everyone. Say hi. Hi. And I also have with me here Emily, who would love to ask the speaker a question. Go ahead, Emily.
What advice would you give a young person who are interested in pursuing a career in tech?
Hi, that is such a great question. I would tell you that you are doing exactly the right thing. Just well, first of all, do it. We need more young girls getting interested in this field because we need your voice at the table. So you might have noticed as you look around you that there are computers in everything we do, right? You go to a Tim Hortons and you order coffee, there's a computer behind the scenes. You look at your phone, that's a mini computer that you're working on right there. It's in everything that we do. And so because of that, I need you and everyone else on this call to be a part of designing that future, because we need female voices, don't we? Yeah, women strong. I see the arm in the chat. That's perfect. So do it. That's my greatest advice. But you can start with little things like what you're doing now. This is the best introduction you could have to exploring all the different ways that this type of problem solving exists in the world. Yeah, you're doing it. Well done. Girl power. I agree. I'm with everyone in the chat. Computers are everywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. And thank you so much, Angela, for your insight. It's so true. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Hawkwood School, for sharing space with us today. So let's head over to our Hackergal community in Perth, Ontario, quite a ways away, at St. John Catholic School, and check in with Hackergals Ruby and Zainab. Hi, folks.
Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Ruby, and I'm the marketing manager at Hackergal. I'm so excited to be in Perth, Ontario, joining several coding clubs through the Catholic District School Board of Eastern Ontario at St. John Catholic School with my colleague Zainab today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zainab, and I'm the program coordinator at Hackergal. So pumped to be here with all of you today and celebrate a wonderful week of coding.
We are on the traditional territory of the Algonquin and the Shawbeg people. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
I have Marianne here with me, and she'll be asking our speaker a question now. Go ahead, Marianne.
Could you give an example of an environmental issue facing our planet right now and explain why it matters to you?
Yeah, the timing for this could not be more appropriate out here in Nova Scotia. You might have seen in the news that there have been a slew of wildfires in Nova Scotia. It's been really damaging. People have lost homes, and this is really all a side effect of climate change. And we're seeing this, routinely. I saw somebody comment on the hurricane research. Hurricane research is really critical as well, because as the world heats up, all of the normal systems that we're used to, weather systems, are changing. And so we are seeing wildfires in a way that we've never seen them before in Nova Scotia. And so how this comes back to computer science, frankly, I have used the tools of computer science throughout this week as I'm supporting friends that are going through, possible evacuation from their homes. The ways that we check on where a fire is going to go or where a hurricane is going to go is we look at the wind patterns, we look at the weather systems, and the way that we do that is through computers. So there's all sorts of monitoring stations that are looking at what the wind flow is in any one point, but then it's modeled via computer systems to show them, which direction things are moving. And so the firefighters in Nova Scotia are looking at that information constantly and deciding, where they're going to put their efforts. They're going to put it in the direction that the fire is going to be going. So they're always looking ahead of the game and making sure that they're supporting things. So honestly, our field is helping at all of these touch points. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously top of mind for us at the moment. I know our girls have been thinking about that. I have every couch in my house made at the moment in case friends that are near that evacuation zone become homeless temporarily until they can return to their spaces.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you so much, Marianne, for the really great question. And thank you, Angela, for that great response. So much insight. Thank you so much for bringing this to the forefront of our attention. We appreciate it. And thank you, Ruby and Zainab, and thank you to CDSBEO for being such an amazing partner of Hackergal this year. So thank you, Angela, for being with us today and for sharing your experiences, your knowledge, your insights with us. Your experience in computer science is truly inspiring, and we all thank you for the work that you're doing to bring equitable access to the field. It is so valuable for our Hackergals to hear stories like yours and to hear insight from folks like you. We appreciate your time and your expertise, and we are truly grateful for your contribution to our Hackathon event. And of course, a big shout out for championing our Hackergal Coding Club at Sir Charles Tupper Elementary School in Halifax this year. We're so excited to see you folks with us.
It was so great to see everyone in Calgary and CDS BEO. We are now going to move on to a very, very special presentation from one of my peers in the Ambassador Program, Mara. Mara will be sharing a coding project created by one of the Hackergals in the coding club that Mara champions in BC. Mara is a grade 12 student at Holy Cross Regional High School in British Columbia. Aside from coding, she loves to sing and listen to many music genres like jazz, R&B, K-pop, and so much more. It is so great to see you, Mara. Mara est une élève de 12e année à l'école secondaire régionale Holy Cross en Colombie-Britannique. En plus de coder, elle adore chanter et écouter de nombreux genres musicaux comme le jazz, le R&B et le K-pop. C'est un plaisir de te voir aujourd'hui, Mara. Without further ado, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Marley YY David. I am a National Hackergal Youth Ambassador and have founded and led a coding club in my local library here in British Columbia. And just a disclaimer, I will be repeating my English sentences in French for our French viewers. Bonjour, je m'appelle Marley YY David. Je suis une ambassadrice Hackergal et j'ai fondé et dirigé un club de codage dans ma bibliothèque locale en Colombie-Britannique. I'm thrilled to be showcasing a coding project that my student created at my girls' coding club. It is called Fleetwood Girls Coding Club. The game takes place at Fleetwood Library, which is where I taught my girls' coding club. This simulation game is from the perspective of a new coder. The role of the player is to help her answer questions based on commands and features in the Link's coding platform. Let's play the game. Je suis ravie de présenter un projet de codage que mon élève a créé. Le jeu se déroule à Bibliothèque Fleetwood. Le rôle du joueur est d'aider et répondre aux questions relatives aux commandes de la plateforme de codage Links. Jouons ensemble. To start the game, you click on the Start Game button. This project uses an on-click procedure when you click the Start Game button to make the game go to a specific page. This is Jewel, and she is the main character of the game. To move on to the next page, you click anywhere on the page like this. Jewel finds coding difficult, so we will help Jewel use the correct commands and features to create a coding project. Pour démarrer, vous cliquez sur Démarrer qui utilise la procédure cyclique. Voici Joël, le personnage principal. Pour passer à la page suivante, vous cliquez n'importe où. Joël trouve le codage difficile. Nous allons donc l'aider à utiliser les bons commandes pour créer son projet. This page introduces me as a coding instructor. Do you think this character looks like me? I think it does. Sur cette page, j'enseigne le codage. Pensez-vous que ce personnage me ressemble? Je pense que oui. And after opening the Link's coding platform and creating a new project, I asked to change the color of the turtle to red. The next page shows two options that you can pick from: Set C red and Set BG red. To change the color of the turtle to red, Jewel should write Set C red. So I will click on the first button. If you click the correct option, an announce box will appear with a congratulations message. If I click OK and select the incorrect option, an announce box will appear asking the player to try again. And to continue the game, you simply click on the pink part of the page. Je veux changer la couleur de la tortue en rouge. Cette page montre deux options. Joël doit écrire fixe couleur rouge. Donc, je vais cliquer sur le premier bouton. Un annonce apparaît avec un message de félicitations. Si vous cliquez sur l'option incorrecte, un annonce lui demandera de réessayer. The game continues to ask questions. This one asks, how do you make a sound play forever? Please type the answer in the chat. Le jeu continue de poser des questions. Écrivez les réponses dans le chat. And the correct answer would be forever sound name. If you got that right, good job. The third question uses the sentence say command to say if the answer is correct or incorrect. For example, if you click on the first option, the game will say,
Ha ha ha, tricked you. Try again.
ha ha ha, tricked you, try again. And if you click on the second option, the game says,
Well done. You really know you're coding well.
well done, you really know you're coding well. Cette question utilise la phrase dire commande. Par exemple, si vous cliquez sur la première option, le jeu dit ha ha ha, tu t'es trompé. Si vous cliquez sur la deuxième option, le jeu dit bravo. Thank you everyone for watching my students coding presentation. It was such a pleasure to share. And I'll now pass it on to the Hackergal team to continue the closing party.
Thank you so much, Mara, for a wonderful walkthrough of the students' project. It was so cool to see the code behind the work in such detail. Le projet était absolument génial et vous avez présenté magnifiquement. So I would now actually have the pleasure to introduce another one of my fellow ambassadors and the recipient of the Hackergal Scholarship. Aruthi is currently a grade 12 student and a former Hackergal ambassador from 2021 to 2022, who is empowered to change the multifaceted world of medicine by helping create user-friendly technologies to enhance the field of medicine. Planning on pursuing a degree in biomedical engineering at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, she has big plans for the future and we cannot wait to see them come to life. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi everyone. I am Aruthi, and my passion for coding started in grade 6 when I was a part of my middle school's coding club, introduced to me by one of my favorite homeroom teachers. She encouraged me to start coding, and I've just loved it ever since. Shout out to Code for Girls. Ever since then, I have wanted to expand my coding knowledge, so I sought out opportunities to expand my horizons. And one such opportunity that I sought out was the Hackergal Ambassador Program. Despite the competitive application process, I applied and luckily got in. Through this program, I learned how to code through a new language called Links and formed a community club where my coding club partner and I taught young girls how to code. I had so much fun every week conducting this club as it gave me the opportunity to expand my communication skills and mentor young kids. After this year, I decided to take a break to focus on my grade 12 year, and I really missed it. However, I got the chance to apply to the Hackergal Scholarship for my post-secondary studies, and I was one of the 2 lucky winners. I hope to one day accomplish my goal of becoming an ophthalmic biomedical engineer, and I also plan on giving back to my community by continuing to foster STEM education within my community. If you're interested in learning more about how you can get involved, visit the link to the Ambassador Program that Rebecca will now drop in the chat. Bonjour à tous, je suis Ruthie. Ma passion pour le codage a commencé en 6e année quand je faisais partie du club de codage de mon école. Elle m'a encouragée à commencer à coder et depuis j'adore le codage. Ensuite, j'ai voulu élargir mes connaissances en codage. J'ai donc recherché des opportunités et j'ai abouti sur le programme d'ambassadrice de Hackergal. J'ai postulé malgré la grande compétition et j'ai réussi. Grâce à ce programme, j'ai appris à coder dans une nouvelle langue, Links, et j'ai formé un club de codage avec une autre ambassadrice et nous avons appris à des jeunes filles à coder. Je me suis tellement amusée chaque semaine à gérer ce club, car cela m'a donné l'occasion de développer mes capacités en communication et d'encadrer des enfants. Après cette année, j'ai décidé de faire une pause et le programme m'a vraiment manqué. Mais j'ai postulé à une bourse Hackergal pour les ambassadrices et j'ai gagné. Je vais utiliser cette bourse pour mes études postsecondaires. J'espère un jour devenir ingénieur biomédical en ophtalmologie. J'aimerais aussi continuer à motiver les filles à aimer les STEM. Si vous voulez en savoir plus sur ce programme, visitez le lien dans le chat. Merci.
Thank you so much, Aruthi, for sharing your story with us today. It was so interesting to listen to, and it is so cool just how far you have come in just a few years. Personally, I cannot wait to see the wonderful things you're going to accomplish in the future.
Congratulations to both Aruthi and Mara, and thank you for sharing. Aruthi, I know you are going to thrive at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, and Mara, the Hackergals in the Fleetwood Girls Coding Club that you have developed at Fleetwood Library are so lucky to have you as their champion. So thank you. Folks, applications for the 2023-2024 Ambassador Cohort are now live. If you are in grades 9 to 12 or going into grade 9 starting in September, you can apply to be an ambassador. If anyone would like to learn more about Hackergal's ambassador program, check out the link that Rebecca dropped in the chat. So, as you know, your mission this week has been to code a project using links that shows the world how we can save the planet. In addition to that mission, we offered an optional challenge to code your projects according to 3 specific themes chosen by our generous sponsors. Whether you coded according to these themes or not, we celebrate your hard work and achievements. But for those of you who would like to submit a coding project to our panel of judges, here's a little refresher on the 3 challenges and our amazing sponsors. Communications Security Establishment presents the Reducing Pollution Challenge, and representing the CSE on our judging panel is Maria DeRucci. Maria is the Technical Supervisor at CSE. CIBC presents the Living Sustainability Challenge, and Linda Augustine, Senior Manager in Quality Assurance at CIBC, is our CIBC judge. Last but certainly not least is TC Energy, presenting the Energy Solutions Challenge with Haley Funk, who works as the Manager of Product Delivery at TC Energy, sitting on our judging panel as our TC Energy judge.
Once again, here are your themes in French for your consideration. Coder ensemble pour notre planète. We appreciate all the Hackergals that are coding in French during the hackathon. What are your next steps?
Well, let's get into it. Here are some of those important details that I was talking about earlier, all about our judging challenges. So if you are in grades 6 to 9 and you coded a project as an individual or a group of 3 or less according to a sponsor theme, you are invited to submit your project through the Hackathon post survey. The post survey link will be shared in the chat and via email after today's event. You will have between today at 1 p.m. and Monday, June 5th at midnight to submit your project for judging. Prizes will be announced on social media the week of June 19th. Now, let's talk about the post survey. It's important for us to hear from all of you so that we can improve on the experience that the hackathon provides. All learners, facilitators, teachers, and hackathon participants are encouraged to take a few minutes to complete the post survey. Completing the post survey gives you a chance to win a $200 gift card to Indigo. We have 1 gift card for a lucky Hackergal and 1 for a lucky facilitator. Winners will be announced via social media on Friday, June 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link to the post survey will now be added to the chat. And remember, if you have any questions about submitting your projects or the post survey, check out our Padlet. Padlet is a free digital tool that can help you get the support you are looking for by allowing you to submit questions directly to the Hackergal team. Scan the QR code on this slide or use the link that Rebecca will put in the chat now. And finally, please share your journeys from the hackathon on social media. You can find us on Instagram at the Hackergals, and please use the hashtags on the screen. We cannot wait to announce the winners of the post survey via social media on Friday, June 16th, and of the coding project judging on Monday, June 19th. We can't wait to see all your projects and the hard work that you put into this incredible week of learning and coding skill building. You are all winners, and we are so grateful to have each and every one of you as part of the Hackergal community. Hackergals, thank you for being part of the Hackergal community and the Hackergal movement to close the gender gap in STEAM across Canada. Thank you for your presence today, your participation, and your incredible energy. I know Samia is going to take a look at the questions in the Q&A now and give Angela a chance to answer.
Yes, so there's so many questions here right now. There's some for Angela, Aruthi, and Mara as well. So the first question is actually for Angela. So, hi Angela, how many years of studying did you have to undergo to be where you are today?
Hi. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, we had two speakers going. All right, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear
So
you.
I went through many years of school, but I went through 4 years of undergrad, and then I did a master's, which was 1 year, and a PhD, which took another 3.5. So it's quite a few, but functionally a lot of the work that I described, the hurricane research and the oceanographic coding, that was all done after undergrad, which is 4 years of study in computer science.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing.
That's a great question. And one of the things, is it okay to highlight? One of the things I'd really like to highlight about this is that there's some amazing opportunity for young women in computer science. So our institution, I put in the chat, offers $10,000 Women in Technology, Women in Tech scholarships. And we give out many every year. So we really want your voice at the table when we're designing the future.
That is amazing. Following up that question, what advice would you give to youth that are trying to go into the STEAM world today?
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
What advice would you give to youth that are trying to get into STEAM today?
Oh, that there is a place for you in it. And so just, you're at the right age to be thinking about this, but really give all of those areas some thought. We don't cover it in high school to any great extent, but there's so many areas to explore within engineering. I know I have a couple engineers behind me. There's so many different pathways within engineering, within mathematics, within computer science, that I just say, really explore the opportunities because there are many and they're really fun.
For sure, that's amazing advice. There's so many things you can do in the world of STEAM. It is incredible. So, Angela, why did you switch from math to computer science?
Yeah, mostly I'd say they interweave with each other. They're very tied together. So I don't know if I've ever really properly switched, but I do both. So the reason that I started focusing more within computer science is that the problems that I wanted to solve were too big to process theoretically. I needed a computer to work through data sets and live information. And so if you're going to model where a hurricane's going, you can't do that on paper and pencil because you're taking in all sorts of information and you need to put it together, and a computer can do that very quickly where a human has its limitations.
For sure, your job sounds super interesting. So someone else would actually like to know, what is your favorite part about your job?
Actually, it's working with all of you. So I teach first year courses because it's when students are the most excited and enthusiastic. And so I have always volunteered for the first year cohorts, and I do academic outreach so that I get to work with the next generation.
Thank you so much. That is an amazing answer. And lastly, I'm seeing, is computer science hard? Just the field in general.
I'd say, well, I don't know. I think I'd say no. I think it's really logical. And so if you start slow and really work up your ideas, as you've seen with the turtles that we've been engaged with, we can do a lot with very little. In fact, the bulk of what people do programming, you can learn in the first year. And then it's just putting it together in more complex and interesting ways. It's really exciting if you break down what we do with computers. The basic steps I can explain to these fifth graders. It's how you put it together in greater problem solving complex situations that make it really interesting and powerful.
Thank you so much. That is really interesting. And also, given your career, what is your favorite industry to work on within computer science? Do you have a very specific part that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, I like working with physical systems like the ocean and like anything involving weather systems. I really enjoy that because I feel a connection to that, and it helps that I've lived on the ocean and crossed the ocean a few times, so I'm quite connected to the water. So any physical systems like that, I love.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now I actually have some questions for both of the ambassadors, so Mara and Aruthi, if you could just join me on screen really quickly. Hello, hello. Okay, so the first question, I feel like both of you could answer this. So is Lynx similar to Python, or is Lynx easy to learn? What are your girls' thoughts on it?
I think that Lynx is a bit easier than Python. If you are interested in learning Python, I think that Lynx would be a great like preparation tool for you to learn Python, because there are similar concepts. The commands are not typed exactly the same, but they do have similar concepts within them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Lynx is more like plain English. So like you just need to know the language to be able to code. Whereas Python, you need a little more knowledge of the language itself. So yeah.
For sure, English and French. And I feel like the one way to describe Lynx is like you have drag and drop code like Scratch, and then you have Lynx, and then you have Python. I feel like it's that one building block in between. And also, Aruthi, this is for you. What do you learn in biomedical science? Why are you trying to get in the field?
So I'm actually doing biomedical engineering, but biomedical science, I guess, is the same. But it's basically health sciences and engineering put together. So I honestly couldn't choose between the two. So I was like, okay, let's just go to something that combines both. So it's a bunch of bio, physics, and chem, and math, and all those STEM subjects. Yeah.
Full STEAM focus. I love that. I
Exactly.
actually didn't know it's perfect combination of the two fields. So if you're trying to go into engineering and health science and can't decide, look into biomedical engineering then.
Exactly.
Okay, I feel like those are all the questions I see in the Q&A. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to drop them in. But for now, I think that actually closes up our Q&A section. So thank you so much to Mara, Aruthi, and Angela for hopping on and answering some more questions. I can see our learners are so eager to hear from all of you and your experiences. So finally, we would like to actually thank our incredible sponsors. A special mention goes to Communication Security Establishment, CSE, CIBC, the CAN Code Program, and TC Energy for supporting our mission in today's special event. C'était tellement bien de vous voir avec nous aujourd'hui. Merci à nos super partenaires, Centre de la Sécurité des Télécommunications, CIBC, le programme CAN Code et TC Energy pour avoir rendu cet événement possible. And a final thank you goes out to all of the Hackergals joining us from across Canada today for our live hackathon closing party. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Watch me dance.